Well, I came here around 5 years ago. I was invited by the government to come here and look at a project. And instantly when I arrived, I fell in love with the sea here. It's so spectacular. It has such a beautiful underwater environment that I felt really compelled to make a project. I think I was most interested working here because I've seen a lot of underwater places around the world, and I think when people imagine the sea, they often think of coral reefs and of big, pelagic creatures. But when I came here, I actually saw an underwater world that was, really beautiful, really pristine, and something that hadn't been explored artistically. We looked at several different concepts for the islands, and we, decided on a theme around a mask. And at first I wasn't sure how that would work out, but it's actually quite interesting, because it obviously relates to the performing arts of Cannes. It also relates to the man with the iron mask and the story on the island. And I think it also relates to the sea because, when we look at the sea, it's almost like a mask where we don't really know what's underneath. And I wanted to show that underneath this mask it's actually a very beautiful and fragile space. I think there's many things, very special about the islands. First of all, obviously the history. As soon as you arrive there, the smell of the pine and just the sense that you're stepping on in a place with so much history. And the underwater area is really pristine. It's some of the best visibility I've seen in the Mediterranean. So it was really an ideal space. Yesterday it was a huge sense of relief. I've been working for I think over 4 years on this project. It's taken quite some time to do the environmental studies, to choose the exact location, to develop the concepts of the sculptures and then to also make them and install them. So it's been a really long process, so there was a profound sense of relief that they were installed. For me, one of the most special times was I actually got to stay on the island during the summer when I made the casts of all the different people. And it felt like a real privilege because nobody else was staying there. And it was a really special time for me, and I really enjoyed it. It's certainly the first COVID-friendly museum in France. So it's one of the places where you can go and be socially distant from everybody else. And it's obviously, for me, one of the first projects that I've ever done in the Mediterranean. So it's a huge privilege. Yes, I hope to come back each year to see, how the sculptures are evolving. For me, this is just the beginning of the process. As soon as I put them into the sea, that's when their lives begin. And they're living, evolving pieces of art. And I think each year they'll be different, and each visit will be a new experience. All of my work is about preserving our marine environments, and here in Cannes you're blessed with one of the most spectacular seas and underwater worlds in the world. So for me it's really about protecting those spaces and to really thinking about them differently. It's not just a place where we go fishing or a place where we take things from. It's something that we also give back to, and it's something that we should treasure and regard as a sacred space.